expected in the upper 70s. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. Good to have you on today's show. We've got lots to talk about, including, some weird stuff in the world of LA. Lots of bad things happening. And I know we got Jesse Sanchez over there just looking at the news headlines. And sometimes we look for good news, and sometimes we look for great news, and sometimes we look for news that makes sense. But I'm noticing this one, and this has happened for the last few days actually, and I got a question as to the situation, and I don't know if you've heard of this situation, Jesse, but did you hear about the young lady who's 16, Tiani Theus, who was left on the side of the freeway that was shot up? Did you see that, Jesse? I can tell by your face the answer is no.
Yeah, the answer on my face. Yeah. Oh my God, just every word was just blowing my mind. So, what happened?
Yeah, this is a bad situation. And the police are kind of in a way, I don't know how to say this, but they're inundated with a bunch of this happening in the LA area. Now, I know across the country it's happening as well. But these things are really, really just catching up in a way to where people just want answers, right? So let me bring up this information. I'll bring up her picture. Hopefully her picture comes up in this way so you guys can see it. LA City Councilman Curran Price's office sent out a release Monday night saying Price is expected to co-present a motion Tuesday, along with Councilman Marquise Harris Dawson, which is basically going to be a $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Tiani's killer or killers. Okay. Now, this is a string of things that I think we're going to see more of, which is honestly, if you have information, we're going to pay really good money. Okay. And this happened as of last week as well. I think one of the biggest was that definitely caught my eye that I never really ever seen before. It kind of goes back to the days of like westerns. Do you remember Jesse, like whenever they'd be like wanted, dead, or alive?
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. So the one that caught my attention as of last week was $250,000 for the arrest and capture of a guy who killed a young lady at on La Brea in LA at a furniture store that she worked at. All right, and the guy stabbed her to death. I don't know how many times he stabbed her to death, but he stabbed her, right? And they caught him on camera, but they didn't get much else, if that makes sense. So they put out a reward of $50,000 originally. That was done by the city. And then all of a sudden it jumped to a massive $250,000. And within like 48 hours, the guy got caught. Okay. That happened last week. All right. And when you offer that type of money, even if people and or friends of the guy are like kind of close, or they want like some people are oddly like kind of protective of criminals. Does that make sense, Jesse? Like every criminal has friends, right? Or they know something.
Okay. Yes. Most definitely.
So when you put that type of like money out there, even a close friend will say, dude, I need money, man. You going to prison is okay with me. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes criminals' friends are not the best friends, right? Especially if they're a murderer, right? So
Most definitely. I mean, yeah. I don't even know what kind of friend you would be if I knew my friend was a murderer or thief. Yeah. No, I would not be talking to them.
yeah, exactly. Okay. If I told you this day, hey, I did something really bad, don't tell anybody, I can see you being loyal up to a point, right? But if you found out, wait a minute, he killed somebody, I'm not going to be a party of that. You know, I would understand if you turned me in. Does that make sense? I'm telling you that right now. Like, I would understand. Collect
Okay.
your
Good.
money. I'm the one that did bad. Collect your money. You know what I mean?
Okay, good. Yeah, no.
You're like,
I'm
okay, I can tell it.
willing to keep a lot of secrets, but if it's at the expense of somebody's life or something like that, like someone like something like really horrible, no, I'm going to turn you in personally. I'm going to be like, it was me.
Yeah, so this young girl, okay, Tiani. Now she's kind of the next string of a reward that people want to go, hey, what's going on? And I actually say this because I saw the newscast of the family that said that other girl's murder got captured. We're hoping for the same thing. In essence, that's what she basically said. We're hoping for the same thing. I feel sorry for that other girl. Now it's time to help my girl, and we need my girl taken care of. And I understand why, because at the end of the day, when you see this young face, you just say, who could have done this? Who could have done this? And here she is, okay? This is the young girl. Young, bright. And now the question is, where do we go from here, right? Who has the information? So this is the latest. The LA County Board of Supervisors and the LA City Council Tuesday are considering posting a combined $60,000 reward for information leading to the person or people responsible for the shooting death of 16-year-old Tiani Theus, whose body was found alongside the 110 freeway. Okay, we all know that 110 freeway here in LA. It's I don't know if it's south of the 10 freeway that this happened or south of the 60 freeway. I don't know. Or if it's in between the 105 and the 60. I really don't know yet. But there she is. Now, when you see that face, Jesse, what comes to your mind for this young girl?
Oh man, just her whole future was ahead of her. I mean, just I can't even. Who knows what she would have done with her life? The people she would have touched, the lives she would have changed.
Yeah.
So every time a young person loses their life like this, it's sad.
Yeah. So that's kind of my point on that. And I feel as though, as young as she is, she got in with the wrong crowd. Nobody wants to hear that. But obviously it happened, right? The question is what led up to the situation that ended up them leaving her at the side of the road, right? Now, they said a shooting death. So the question is, did it happen in a way where they were scared, they just dumped her, or were they part of like something, right? So the Board of Supervisors are considering the motion, and they're going to establish an additional $10,000 reward on top of the $50,000. A group of community activists have gathered, pushing for elected officials to offer the reward. The community group Operation Hope held a news conference announcing they're offering the reward of $5,000 reward for information. So that's a combination, basically. The $50,000 is a combination. On January 7th, Tiani visited her father, Darian Jackson. Okay, so here's the story as we have it now. There's always more to the story, but this is what we know now. Tiani visited her father, Darian Jackson, at his Inglewood workplace in what he explained as a depressed and distraught state. Less than 24 hours later, she was found dead, shot in the neck twice. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
In the neck?
In the neck.
Oh, my.
That's a whole other type of murder.
Any other place she could have been shot, but oh, my God.
Yeah, that one, and twice. That's deliberate. That's not an accident. I can see somebody like in the back of a seat and somebody gets shot, which I saw 3 different situations happen like that in San Bernardino, which I'm currently investigating. But in this situation, that's a deliberate, because it's her neck's so tiny, Jesse. Her neck's so tiny. She's such a little girl, 16.
Yeah, a young girl, and it's not like it's a wide target. So, yeah, that's definitely intentional. You do not get shot twice in the neck just at random.
No. So the question of the day is, what do we do next, right? Now, according to this, her father detailed the events of the day prior to the discovery of his daughter's body on the southbound 110 freeway in South LA. Okay, I know what area that is. saying to reporters that ever since her mother was critically injured in a hit-and-run accident, oh my God, another hit-and-run, his daughter had been living with him. Okay, I get it. They're probably broken up. Okay, I get that somewhat. So she was going through things already. Does that make sense? Like the fact that her mother was injured. Now she's not. I don't think her mother's dead, and that's the sad part. And I mean that in that she has to not only have been in an accident like this hit and run, but then to know your daughter is dead. Like that's just like, what else could go wrong, right? Like, I feel bad for this family right now. I'm this is the first time I'm reading this this story, by the way. I get it now. He said she hadn't been the same girl he knew since the tragic incident turned her life on its head. That makes sense. When you hurt someone physically with a vehicle and you cause a lot of harm, you need to stop. That's number one. There's already been like 3 accidents in the area that I know of that they are offering rewards in the Jefferson area, by the way, which is South LA. Some refer to it as South Central, but it's South LA. So I say to people walking on the road, be careful, okay? I'll post a video of one that happened, and you'll see it, and you'll say, oh my goodness, this will be like in a few weeks. I'll show it to you. Be careful when you walk into the streets of certain narrow areas, because people are driving weird. They may be high. They may be on something. They may not be on something. They might be distracted driving. They might just not stop for you. And worst case scenario, you might be dead because of it. This situation obviously wasn't good for the daughter, for the family, and for everyone involved, right? So this is what he said that she said, okay? She said, Daddy, nobody loves me. The only person that loved me was my mama. Uh-oh. There it is. There it is. Nobody understands that, huh? Nobody loves me. She had a situation with some friends, I bet, in the lead up. And as such, she just wanted her mama to make it right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So the father wasn't there?
Let me read on. Before you go there. All right. So I'm just kind of waiting for people to kind of get sense of it, of what she's saying. She said, Daddy, nobody loves me. The only person that loved me was my mom. I don't know if she used loved me, because now I got questions. Did her mom die? She was critically injured. I don't know that she died, but let's see. And then he said, I said that's not true. I said I love you. She was just crying. I felt her pain. Okay, that's a normal father's like expression, right? Especially if she had been living with her mother because maybe they were divorced or separated, or maybe they never got married, right? I don't know the situation between her mom and the father. But I'm like you, Jesse. Everybody's a suspect at the moment, right? I go, wait a minute. Jackson said that as his daughter was planning to leave, he had a bad feeling and begged her to stay with him. Okay, I will say that does happen. Sometimes we get a little sick feeling in like our stomach or in our head or just wherever it is, and we go, I just feel like something's wrong. Can you just not go anywhere? And I think it was a fact, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to say this anyway. Sometimes when fathers are not present with their teenage daughters, they don't know how to help them. Does that make sense?
No, it does. And the main thing about my question that I asked earlier was when she says nobody loves me but my mom. I just feel like, a lot of dads, they don't express their emotions enough to their children that, we might act tough and hard, but we do love you.
Yeah, I see that.
It's just like it just hurts when I heard that. So,
well, I think she had a situation lead up to it. And
yeah.
I think somebody probably said something that they shouldn't have. As kids know, and as parents know, if you think as being a teenage one, if your life is already bad, like in your circle of friends and or your love life, you kind of like, you can't see straight. Plus, you just have tragedy upon tragedy. You're like, why does this keep happening in our family? But you don't know how to say it, right? So I feel everything came out of pressure to her. And because it did, she was obviously crying. And he's probably like, what's wrong? And then she's like, nobody loves me. You know, the only one that loves me is my mom, or the only one that loves me is my mom, and look where she's at, you know. And she may not have said that in those words, but that's kind of the feeling that I feel. Something led up to the moment where she talked to her father that he's recounting, up until the moment that she's dead on the side of the road, known as the highway or freeway, right? So, he said as she was planning to leave, he had a bad feeling and begged her to stay with him. Now, that is an interesting statement, so I don't know what that means. Despite denying his request, he gave his daughter a kiss and a hug. So he felt like it was the last time he'd ever see her. Do you ever get that feeling sometimes? I've gotten that feeling. Sometimes I don't want to leave my mom. I'm like, what if something happens with my mom? I've gotten that 3 times.
I get that feeling sometimes. Sometimes you just don't want to say goodbye.
Here it is. Before she left for a party with an unnamed friend, leaving him for what he said he didn't know was a last goodbye. Okay, so maybe he didn't know. But sometimes it happens so quick, you really don't know. Tiani's body was found the next morning. Investigators disclosed that the teenager was murdered, shot twice in the neck. Now her family is beside themselves, searching for a reason in how somebody could take a life so heartlessly. He said, dumped on the freeway like nothing. Yeah, that just broke me down. It hurt me. It's like, who could be so cold like that? Her cousin, Rashida Kinsey, said, we have so many questions. Everybody is so in disbelief. They want to make sure that their loved one is remembered for her beauty, vibrancy, and intelligence. Oh, I can see that. She's got such a young, bright life there. Rather than dehumanized as the investigation of her death ensues. They said, let's speak up. Let's stand up for one another. Talk for those who can't. Save the next child's life. It could be your child. It could be your cousin. Yeah, she's not wrong on that, man. According to the details provided by the LA Times by some of Tiani's family members, when her mother's accident occurred in 2019, oh, there it is. It happened a while back. She began to rebel, disappearing for extended periods of time and being pulled into theft and prostitution. Okay. That's interesting. Her cousin, Nafisa Kinsey, said to the Times, we're definitely not presenting that Tiani was an angel. I get it. That they want things out there in a way that people understand. Hey, we understand she kind of lost herself along the way ever since the accident. All right. And she might have entered some things that we're not saying she was, you know, I get that. She rolled with the wrong people, Jesse. I guarantee you.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes when you're lost, you find a group of people that are nice to you and you just cling to them, and no matter if they're good or bad,
Yeah,
they're kind to you. So that's probably what she looked for.
Yeah, I think that's the answer, and everybody has to remember. Sometimes perspective. Sometimes all of us get there, right? I know some of us, and I know many ladies that will admit when they got teenage, they had sometimes rolled with the wrong people, right? It just happens, right? So that's the question. What happens next, right? They said she faced trauma. I want to humanize her. I don't want her to be seen as a prostitute or a runaway or somebody that people feel like, oh, well, they live that lifestyle. It's so many young women out here being victimized and being taken advantage of physically and sexually. She said, so it's my cousin today, but it could be your cousin, your daughter, your friend tomorrow. So there's some more information, very interesting. California Highway Patrol are continuing to investigate. I just hope they look at all the cameras and all the angles and all the timelines on when this could have happened. Tiani's family plans to make a plea to the public this coming Saturday as well. They'll gather to call upon California public officials, including the LA City Council and Governor Gavin Newsom, in the interjection of an award or any information involved in her murder, similar to the one that Brianna Kupfer, that was the other one that I was talking about, that got $250,000, got. One of those will be in attendance is Najee Ali, who works with Operation Hope. He said it's important that Governor Newsom and state elected officials realize that Tiani Theus' life mattered. The fact that someone could shoot and kill a young woman and dump her body on the side of the freeway like she was trash is outrageous. The group is set to gather at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning at the 76 gas station on South Figueroa Street in L.A. A GoFundMe for Tiani can be found by searching for the keywords Tiani's funeral expenses. So there's the information. I will say, if you have any information on the situation, I guarantee you the ones that know are the ones that went to the party. They know, right? So somebody's got to speak up. And I hope they do. All right, people, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, TruckWorks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, TruckWorks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at TruckWorks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 AM, FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Yvette interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff and spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at HIEBanning.com.
Standard time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit to get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day, because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just go to 12ignoremyscore.com right now. That's www.12ignoremyscore.com. Auto financing the easy way. 12ignoremyscore.com. Get started today. Auto financing the easy way.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Jesse, what's going on in the world?
How fast does news travel?
Not going to lie, that's kind of a good question. As fast as it needs to be in order to get told quickly?
Okay. So on Saturday, I saw this TikTok. It was not funny. So what happened was, apparently this guy went to a smoothie shop in Connecticut, and he ordered a smoothie like usual, I guess, but one of them he asked for no peanuts or no peanut butter or something like that. And apparently he didn't tell the people that it was for someone who had an allergy against peanuts. Accidents happen, especially if, with nut allergies, if you don't clean the surface properly, cross-contamination. So apparently his son ended up getting kind of sick from it. So he went straight back to the smoothie shop and made a giant racist and just huge scene. I mean, it takes a big man to attack a bunch of young girls at a smoothie shop. But so this happened Saturday, and he was fired by Monday. That's how fast it happened. So apparently, let's see what it goes. The man who went on a viral and racist tirade at a Connecticut smoothie shop has been fired from his job as a financial advisor at Merrill Lynch. And the incident happened Saturday when James, I'm not even going to butcher his last name, confronted employees at the store in Fairfield saying his son had an allergic reaction after drinking a smoothie with nuts. So the employees tried to call the police after say he tried to break into the back of the shop. He threatened to kill them multiple times and even tried to break into the back. So it amazes me on how someone could act like that. Even though his son had this reaction, it's just like crazy. I can't imagine doing something like that.
You know what? I saw that, by the way, the footage, and I'm glad they got it on camera. And there were, I think, a few young girls, although there were 2 girls that kind of came on camera going, we didn't know what to do. Because one thing, well, let's put it this way. The guy went next level with them. He shouldn't have. As a concerned father would be concerned for their obvious, allergy. At the end of the day, I don't know how anybody makes sense of it to go like that, like he did.
Right? I mean, I can understand. I definitely understand being angry.
Yeah.
But when you have an allergy like that, it's your responsibility to, mention it to others that are preparing your food. They don't know you have an allergy.
No.
They just know that you said no peanut butter. For all they know, they didn't add peanut butter and it was just some kind of cross-contamination.
Yeah.
So it's just like he should have been more diligent on his son's allergy. But I mean, I totally understand being angry, but just like going like crazy like that, come on, you have to know in this day and age, everyone has a camera, and that's going to be on the internet forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and he threw something at them, so they got a little scared. I remember seeing that. I'm trying to look for the article. I'm not sure where you found it, but
ABC News.
Okay, that makes sense. But I guess my point is, at the end of the day, you can't act like this, right? Allergy or not, you cannot act the way people are acting. People are swinging fists out of nowhere. They're throwing things at people out of nowhere. It's like reacting in this way is honestly, it's gonna get you locked up or dead. Okay, you don't know who has a gun. You don't know who has another, boyfriend that's gonna come at you and come swinging at you. You just don't know, right? So this guy losing his job that quick, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was like, whoa, right? What's the guy's name again?
His name is James Iannazzo. Iannazzo. But it was just the fact that, this guy, he watches over millions of dollars. So it's crazy. So whoever's taking over his portfolio at that firm, they made bank. But it's just, with this day and age, it's just, you got to be careful because, these customers, people are going crazy. I remember a couple months back that someone had hot coffee thrown in their face.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if you remember that.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, and it says people are going crazy. And I mean, that's why people don't want to work retail. It's that they have to deal with these crazy customers. I mean, me personally, I've dealt with some crazy ones. I've had someone threaten me. I've had someone wanted to blow up my video store when I worked there.
Yikes.
And I'm just like, I just rent movies to you guys. What are you doing?
You're like, what is wrong with people? Yeah, and you know what? And that's when people were more normal-ish, right? People are getting weird now. They're getting more weird every single day. It's like when started, it got bad, and then it got worse, and then it got kind of lulled, then it got lulled, and then it got lulled, and then all of a sudden, like 3 months later, boom, everybody gets kind of mad, upset, angry again, and you're like, what's going on with the world, right? So, these things are becoming a little bit too much pronounced, and I'm glad that the guy kind of got his just dessert and kind of got called out for this, because guys like this think they can get away with it. And I'm looking for footage, but I can't find it. So I really need the spelling of the name because I cannot find what I want to find. What's his name again?
James Iannazzo. Would you
I
like
or
for me-
E?
I.
I O.
A.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, Nazo. I see him now. And Merrill
Yeah.
Lynch. Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
get it now. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys this, and then see if you guys agree with this. All right, because this is the guy. Hold on. Let me bring it up really quick. And I understand again your son situation. I get that, right? But it's like, okay, I have an allergy. I'm not gonna lie, but unless you intentionally did it, I'm still not gonna come and run a muckus at you. That's number one. I'm just not gonna do that, right? Because, like you said, it's an inherent danger no matter what. And usually, if you have an allergy like that, you have like an EpiPen, right? And you take care of things. Does that make sense? So I don't know the whole situation leading up to it, but I'm just going to show you a picture really quick just to add some perspective here, right? And hopefully it does. And here it is, and I'll show it to you, Jesse. I don't know if you saw it earlier. So that's the guy, okay? And granted, he said he was upset after his son suffered an allergic reaction to the drink. But the Merrill rep said, our company does not tolerate behavior of this kind. And I say, good job. He was arrested over the weekend for throwing the drink at a Connecticut smoothie shop employee, calling her a bleep, 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 immigrant loser. He used the F word, okay? And attempting to force his way behind the counter after his son offered an allergic reaction to his drink. Okay, he's been fired by the company. The Fairfield Police Department received numerous calls from employees at the Robex Smoothie Outlet on 2061 Black Rock Turnpike just before 2:30 p.m. local time on Saturday, with workers complaining that a customer was throwing things, yelling at employees, and refusing to leave, which is what he did. An investigation revealed that James Iannazzo had ordered a smoothie for his son earlier in the day, requesting that it be made without peanuts. And I get that. Sometimes I do an order. I did an order the other day, and they got it completely wrong. They didn't. I said specifically for my Taco Bell order, I need hot sauce. Like,
Yeah, you know what? It happens. You know what? Accidents happen.
15 minutes later, no hot sauce. I was like, darn you. But I'm not going to go back if you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he was a little bit more angry because his son, got sent to the hospital. Obviously, that would make anybody mad. But you got to learn to control your anger. Be human.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess the son did suffer an allergic reaction, had to be transported to an area hospital. I get that. He returned to the shop, demanding to know which employee had made the drink. They're saying it's Robex. I don't know if it's Robex or Jamba Juice. I'm not sure. Or if it's like an offshoot. The workers said they didn't know which one of them had done it and told him to call the corporate office. Okay, I get that. The confrontation escalated. Okay, so Charlie Hill, who filmed the incident on her phone and posted it on TikTok, thank God, who's 17, it shows the man identifying him, yelling at the workers and calling them bleep, 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 stupid, and bleep, 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 ignorant high school kids, right? He throws the full drink at an employee. That's where he went wrong. It's one thing to go and complain and say, hey, you guys might have made my kid go into the hospital. But that is a corporate situation. Now, so I get him maybe going, I'm going to take care of this. How dare they, right? I would be more with my kid rather than do that, right? And then hope that your kid is not going to suffer further, right? But I think that the kid got alive. I'm pretty sure that happened. But to throw the drink at them, that's basically, and I hate to say it this way because it's going to sound wrong, but if you get called by the police, you threw something at somebody, that's not good, especially a public establishment, right? If I throw something at you, Jesse, that's an act of aggression. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right. Especially if I'm not joking, right? It hit her in the right shoulder. Her name was Gianna Miranda. Now, Miranda, Hill, and other young women working behind the counter told him to leave. Rightly so. That is called, we have the right to refuse service to you. Does that make sense?
It does. Honestly, I feel like all of these places now, we should start hiring security.
It's getting to that point.
It's just one giant bouncer in front of every store, every front of McDonald's, Jack in the Box, everyone. I'd be like, you don't want some security clown. Oh, you don't want some security guard dressed as Ronald McDonald at McDonald's just beating you up. But it's just, it feels like we're getting to that.
It almost is. There are areas in LA, they have guards just outside of McDonald's now. And I'm like, okay. I was at a Ralph's in LA, down the street from where the girl got shot, and he had a pistol. I was like, at Ralph's? You know they get paid more money when you have a pistol, by the way. Yeah, it's actually good security work. It's something I wouldn't want to do because you just get to walk around and you look cool, but I'd rather be an officer if I'm going to carry a pistol. You know what I mean? So the video shows the man calling her an immigrant loser, attempting to force his way through the door to the employee area behind the counter. The footage went viral over the weekend. One roughly minute-long clip of the altercation that was uploaded to Twitter has been viewed more than 2.6 million times. It was also among the most upvoted posts on Reddit earlier on Monday morning. So this is the thing, man. You do not mess with young kids who have social media, man. This gets out. The man in the video was identified online as Ianazo because somebody said, wait, I know who that guy is, who has worked at the Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, for about 26 years. His regulatory record shows that there has been only one allegation against him in 25 years, and it was denied by the arbitration panel. Oh, there was an allegation. He's got a horrible temper. His profile on the website for the Ianazo Group, which had been taken down once listed career accomplishments, such as being ranked by Forbes as one of the 25 best in-state wealth advisors last year, as outlets including Yahoo reported. Oh, I get you now, buddy. You got away with it a little too long. I get it now. Ah, interesting. Fairfield police said that he had left the scene before they arrived, but later turned himself in without incident. Okay, well, good for you. He was charged with intimidation based on bigotry or bias in the second degree, breach of peace in the second degree, and criminal trespass in the first degree. He's set to appear in court on February 7th. Merrill Lynch Representative Bill Halden said to a news agency, "Our company does not tolerate behavior of this kind. We immediately have taken action. This individual is no longer employed." You know what? I say good. His attorney, Frank J. Riccio, wrote in a statement shared to Twitter that his client stressed to the staff that the smoothie must not contain peanuts, and that his parental instinct led him to confront the Robex workers in the way that he did. I get that. Plus, he's going to try to go probably for compensation for it. I get that. The statement said his son has a life-threatening peanut allergy upon drinking the smoothie. His son had a severe allergic reaction, which required transport via ambulance to the hospital. Okay, again, I get that. I get that. When faced with a dire situation, his parental instinct kicked in, and he acted out of anger and fear. He is not a racist. I can tell you right now, he is 100%. And deeply regrets his statement and actions during a moment of extreme emotion. Well, I guarantee you he regrets it. The fact that he turned himself in shows he has promise. Okay, I'll go with that. There's two sides to the coin. Like you said, Jesse, we get it, right? But it doesn't make a situation right for you to do this at anyone like this.
Right? I'm like, yeah, he's not racist. I'm sorry. Being angry does not give you an excuse for shouting out racist remarks.
Yeah, he does say this, and this is the part I tell people, think ahead of time. Do not have this type of regret. He said in a statement, this is the guy. Yeah, exactly. My actions at Robex was wrong, so it was Robex, and I deeply regret them. They do not reflect my values or my character. I feel terrible that I lost my composure so completely. He said that seeing his son have such a severe reaction was the worst nightmare of every parent whose child has a similar allergy, and that I was out of my mind with fear for him when I returned to Robex, and I wish I had not done so. Yeah, well, now you do. He says, I wish they had been more careful preparing my son's beverage. I get that. I will be extending my apologies personally to the organization, particularly the staff that was working there that night. Yeah, a little too late, not going to lie. But, look, one situation is another situation, okay. And I say this as a lesson to all of us, okay? When you want to go next level, don't. Pause. Do what you did, Jesse. What was that thing when you do the wasa thing? What is that?
Yeah, no, just take a minute, breathe.
Yep.
Everyone gets angry, but the moment you start making these decisions when you're angry, they're completely wrong. You just gotta breathe and just like you gotta calm down, because you know what? I understand that that man was angry. I'm trying to figure out who would order a smoothie. What kind of smoothie did he order that had no peanuts in it? I'm assuming it had peanuts in it in the beginning. You know, some type of peanut butter type thing. So I don't know. I'm confused on what he ordered.
Well, usually as a parent, you make sure not to order things that you would otherwise order. I think the order begs the question because okay, I don't order at Robex, but I know in Jamba Juice they have peanut butter mood or something like that. It's a little bit of peanut butter and other stuff, right? So, and it tastes delicious. It's like peanut butter and chocolate. It's just like, it's the best thing since sliced bread, right? And then you go with whey or protein boost. It's really awesome. It tastes good. My point is this. If he ordered a version of that, or if he orders it all the time, the question is, did he order it for himself and then maybe give his kid the wrong one and not understand that? Because I think in the investigation I guarantee you this lawyer's going to go at it, they're going to pull up the purchase and then but you ordered this. So the question of the day is, whose fault is it in that situation? Now, his anger got the best of him the moment he threw that drink at the lady, and then the one's like, you gotta leave, what's wrong with you? And then he kind of came back the other way to kind of get in their face, and that is wrong. You gotta so I'm glad they had their cameras rolling. I'm glad they posted it on social media, and I'm glad he's getting called out for it. But evidently it's not the first time he's done this. He just evidently
he got caught this time.
Yeah in essence yep you got caught on camera. You got caught in a public way. You were not good with your anger, and you're going to have to suffer for it. And I say, that's repercussion. Do not forget, repercussion exists, okay? And when repercussion exists, boy, oh boy, you're gonna get called out on it. All right, people, we've got to take a quick little break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Keep your comments coming. We'll be right back.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
What is commitment and why is it so hard to achieve? The new book, Committed, by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will make you reevaluate the way you think about love. Committed is a relationship manual that unfolds in 2 parts: the work you need to perform on the inside and the 7 distinct archetypes you'll encounter on the outside. Committed, a new book available on Amazon by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will help to find and keep the love you deserve. Committed, available now on Amazon.
Here's to your health with Joshua Lane. Ideas you can use to be healthy and stay healthy. The current thinking about beauty, fitness, and longevity. Every Tuesday and Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Wellness talk you can use. Here's to your health with Joshua Lane on KMET, naturally.
Ruth didn't know she was leaving for good. She knew he would kill her. Could she save herself? Did she feel she was worth saving? How could she best protect her children? To love, honor, and betray, Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her true tale, from submissive to survivor, then thriver, now living a proud, purposeful life as an optimistic, inspiring, peaceful warrior. Can a person heal from feeling the guilt of a decision altering many lives? Weighted by living grief, moving through lessons learned, self-discovery, and land in self-love? Can someone who's been abused in every way move to self-trust, confidence, and arrive at living in peace? To love, honor, and betray, a sincere, honest letter to herself and her adult children, Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her story so that others may also find the inspiring, peaceful warrior within. Amazon worldwide, Barnes & Noble, RuthTunnicliffe.com.
Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 AM, FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Yvette interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Want to do a big shout out to Bobby Stamps, who just sent us a nice 50 stars on Facebook. Thank you very much. Says, good morning, Earthlings of Earth. Viviana's tuning in as well. Stephanie Reed says, hello, happy editing this glorious sunshine, cold, snowy awesomeness, busy day ahead for today. Now, I will say this, Jesse. It's always nice when somebody gets a little bit of information and you go, okay, I kind of get it. But it's not nice when it happens so late in time. And what I mean by that is, well, I'll give you an example. You know the Gabby Petito case?
Oh, yes, the young girl that was killed, yes.
And we called it, right? And we called it before FBI. I don't know if you saw the latest information, but in his journal that was found,
okay,
his supposed body. I still don't believe that's his body, because it's just too little.
It was too easy.
Yeah, it's too sketch. But in that case, the FBI released that he did state that he murdered her.
That's a shock because we already knew.
We already knew. Exactly. Yeah, but he admitted it in written form, right? So obviously he got his words out and this and that. And then supposedly his father just knew exactly where to find all that stuff at. A little too planned. I feel like the family covered up over something like that. I'm just going to state that still. There you go.
No, I stated plain and clear as day. I think the family still had something to do with it, no doubt. I mean, just the fact that the moment the parents and whatever joined the crew, boom, they instantly found his body.
Yeah.
It's all too sketch for me, so.
Yeah, way too sketch. I think if anything, there's more that meets the eye, but, you know, we got to wait on investigations because we're not there. But in this case, this happened close to home over here, Jesse. More than 44 years after a 27-year-old woman vanished in California, authorities have positively identified her partial skeletal remains. I'm going to bring up her photo here for you to see, Jesse, because she is. I'm not going to lie. Like, she's a very beautiful lady. But this happened a long time ago, right? But it's. Do you ever watch like Cold Case or anything like that?
I do used to watch those. I find more women watch those channels for some reason, but they love the murder mystery. Yeah, so she disappeared back in the 80s?
Let's see here. Here's the situation. Her remains, including a skull, were originally discovered in 1986, which was 9 years after she vanished. And they were found by a survey crew along an embankment of the Ortega Highway in Lake Elsinore. That's kind of up the street from you, right?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
But at the time, authorities were unable to identify the victim, who had been shot in the head, according to a statement from the Riverside County District Attorney's Office. See, this is a local case, right, Jesse? So it wasn't until the County Regional Cold Case Homicide Team exhumed several unidentified skeletal remains for DNA analysis earlier this year that investigators were able to provide some answers about what happened to the 27-year-old Linda LeBeau, whose maiden name had been Durnall. All right. Investigators were able to identify the remains last week after a familial DNA match was discovered in the Department of Justice's Missing Unidentified Persons database. Linda disappeared, in 1977. Okay. Around the time she had been planning to meet her ex-husband, Philip LeBeau, at a Love's restaurant. I remember Love's. Do you remember Love's restaurant?
Yeah, of course. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Love's was like a barbecue place. I for some reason, I just remember it in the 80s. I remember it. To collect $300 from him after he had damaged her new boyfriend's car. Oh, boy. Slashing his tires and pouring sugar into the gas tank, according to the Orange County Register, which was reported in 2013. Now, that day, a witness reported seeing the 27-year-old inside her Volkswagen van arguing with an unidentified man at a nearby Texaco after the meeting. Linda was never seen again, and her van was discovered abandoned at the entrance to the southbound I-5 3 days later. All of her belongings had been left inside the vehicle. That's when she went missing, right? Suspicion turned to Philip, who, by the way, he's dead now. He died in 2008. After investigators learned that he had returned home late the night Linda disappeared, soaking wet and wearing different clothing that he had on when he had left the house. Does that sound like the Gabby Petito case? Isn't that, like, you know what I mean?
It does. It does have some similarity to
like,
it.
He returned without her. Like, they went on this trip together. Like, how obvious was that? Like, who dropped the ball there, right? It says the police department, Lieutenant Tom Tarpley said to the newspaper at the time, the ex-husband would clearly be a suspect in this case. Yeah, no doubt. Linda had been Philip's third wife, and those who knew the couple described a volatile and allegedly violent relationship. Well, that's the answer right there, right? Do not stay in a violent relationship if you have one. Okay? Get away from those guys. Let's see. After the couple divorced, Philip allegedly continued to harass his ex-wife by breaking into her apartment. Oh, yeah, duh, see? Stealing some of her belongings and damaging her new boyfriend's car. Poor guy. I'm not going to lie, man. It's not worth the trouble. Just like, the district attorney's office did not mention Philip in the latest update on the case. They did say that the tested police investigators had maintained an active investigation for years. Yeah, I say no. That's called, we got other things on our plate. We're pretty sure we don't know what to do. But years were unable to bring the case to resolution. Now, in light of Philip's death more than a decade ago, it's unclear whether any charges will be filed in Linda's case. However, her younger brother, I feel bad for him, Doug Darnell, said to the Orange County Register, see, these are all local people, in 2013 that finding his sister would provide the family with some closure. In other words, we don't want to know this is her, but we want to know that it's her if it is, you know. Before it gets there, people, just see the warning signs. Let this not be a cold case for your situation. Let's get these people locked up. Let's call things out. If they look like a duck and they sound like a duck, let's get proof. All right, let's get proof. Let's get the murder weapon. Let's get everything that we need to put them away. But let's act quick, man, because these things have a way of just going by the wayside. Poor lady. Anyway, I'm Aaron. That's Jesse. Thanks for making it a great day with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Bye-bye, everyone.